Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Now pray for the soul of this explorer. It's time for 31 Days of Horror.
Hello again, Terence McGuana here. Welcome back to my 31 Days of Horror. And on tonight's episode we're going to look at the 1979 slasher film, Tourist Trap. If you've seen my video on Sheena from 1984, you will know I'm a complete and utter geek for that film and a total Tanya Roberts sycophant, God rest her soul. And when the 31 Days of Horror came around, I thought to myself, I'd like to visit some of the Tanya Roberts horror films that were made before she broke out in Charlie's Angels in 1981. And the one at the top of my list was this film right here, Tourist Trap. So let me break it down for you. A group of young people who stumble upon a roadside museum run by a lonely eccentric where an unknown killer with telekinetic powers begins to murder them one by one. I was really excited for this one because not only am I a massive Tanya Roberts fan, but I'm also a fan of Chuck Connors as well. Chuck Connors was a great American actor, and there's a movie on my list that I've been meaning to watch for over 10 years called The Mad Bomber with Chuck Connors, and I really am excited about watching that one of these days. But Tourist Trap had been one of those ones that I've always seen the amazing poster where it's got this mannequin doll face on it, and I've always wondered what that's about, want to know what that's about. And as the film began, I was like, this is going to be great, this is going to be absolutely great. The opening scene in it is creepy as hell, really is. There is some really creepy moments in this film, and it's a shame because they are too few and far between. The basic premise of these youths that wander into this museum, it is very reminiscent of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre straight away, but right away I don't mind these characters. I actually find them quite nice. They actually seem like a nice bunch of folk. They don't seem like the typical Friday the 13th douchebags that I just can't wait to get killed and I'm invited to just revel in their demise. In this one I'm kind of going, you know, these people seem okay. They've not done anything wrong. They're not, I have no reason to loathe them in any way. But to be honest, the film really lost momentum after that opening scene. The opening scene to this film was absolutely perfect, where this character is surrounded by these scary mannequins, and this person comes in and uses like telekinetic powers to control them and to kill them, basically. That opening scene was perfect in my eyes. I was like, this is going to be a really good movie, really good. And then what it actually turned out to be was just a poor man's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It didn't have any of the dread, suspense, or the atmosphere of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just felt like a kind of cheap knockoff, which was really sad because of the talent that was in it. You know, Tanya Roberts, she was completely underutilised in this as well. She's just another pretty face there to be slaughtered. And Chuck Connors, you could tell straight away, as soon as you met that character, you're like, yeah, you're the antagonist in this film. Straight away, they tried to give you this kind of, oh, maybe he's the lovable guy that's going to help them out. You know, there really is no mystery to this film, and it really lacked suspense after that first scene. That first scene was dynamite and a great opening to a film that I was like, right, excellent, I'm going to be in for a horror treat, and I was sadly disappointed. Even though I've just watched it recently, I can barely remember anything that happened in it. I think I zoned out several times. It didn't have a very engaging presentation at all. The characters were fine, the acting was okay, I just found it really sluggish, and that's probably why I'm not the best person to ask about slasher films. I do find slasher films quite tiresome. I find them all the same. It's like cookie cutter for me. The exception would be Scream. Scream is in Halloween, of course. Scream and Halloween have always been at the top of slasher films for me because they have real suspense and characters that I care about. That's one of the things, you know, that I've debated with people online, is this whole empathy with the characters. I just want to see people get slaughtered. That's what the slasher films are about. Slasher films are there to just revel in the demise of these characters. It's as if they don't want to change. But on the contrary, when I watched Scream for the first time and they had that opening scene with Drew Barrymore, I think maybe because of the star power of Drew Barrymore and the familiarity with her as an actor, I didn't want her to die. I don't know if other people felt that way, but when I saw that opening scene in Scream, I did not want this character to die. And several of the characters in Halloween, I don't want to see them die either. PJ Scholes in Halloween, didn't want to see her die. She didn't deserve to die. Same with Jamie Lee Curtis's other friend. You know, I actually feel rotten for these characters. I actually feel sad and you know, sad to see them go. And I've always felt that way. And that, to me, that's what slasher films should be about. I think slasher films, you should have three-dimensional characters that you care about. I think when you've got these cardboard cut-out characters, it's just lazy. It's just lazy, and I don't really enjoy just watching them getting killed for no point, you know, except seeing a bit of bloodshed, a bit of gore, a bit of great effects. Whoopee. But when I don't care about them, pointless. And that's what I feel about this one, especially when, you know, Tanya Roberts gets killed in it, right? And it just felt kind of meaningless. I didn't really care. And, you know, Tanya Roberts, you know, she's such a brilliant actor, so underutilised in this. And the strange thing is that was my main reason for watching it. I wasn't watching it because I was like, yeah, we're going to see Tanya Roberts get killed in this film. I wanted to see something else with her in it, and it was sorely disappointing. That's all I can say about Tourist Trap. So if you like this video, and you probably don't because Tourist Trap's probably your favourite film, then give us a big old thumbs down for that, right? I'm sorry if I don't like it. And also, if you want to subscribe to the video, hit the subscription button. And I'll see you tomorrow for more 31 Days of Horror. Thank you, good night.